Going live. There we are. Right. Yeah, we're hanging the mic off the glasses tonight. Being a little odd. Doing something a little different. This shirt's a little light and it just keeps pulling down on the shirt. So hang it off of there since I don't have a hat. I probably have a hat. It's not out here. I could wear my LDO apron. By the way, hi guys, how you doing? Good to see you. So, stupid fly. Anyway, what I was gonna say is hi, good to see you. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I know that currently it's just me, myself, and I. For those who don't know, this is Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest weekend. This is Saturday night. There's a good chance that anybody and everybody that is in the community that is there is probably out enjoying themselves this evening. So I hope they all have a wonderful evening. I hope they have a great time. And for those who aren't there that may pop in and hang out, let's just install a Microswiss Flowtech Hotend. Look at that. Flowtech Hotend for the K1, K1 Max, K1C. These things are amazing. I've had two K1s. A lot of you guys know that. I've had two K1s with the Microswiss Flowtech Hotends on them. So obviously I like them, I know them, and I trust them. And they sponsor the printer rehab project. So thank you for that, guys. That being said, Josh, what's going on? Thank you. Yeah, I could not make it this year, so sitting at home, got something to do. We got a project, so I'm gonna kind of play around with this thing a little bit. I got to remove some stuff, move some stuff, make some space, put that back there. And then, yeah, let's get the little Microswiss sticker out of there. It's not my printer. I'm going to include this, but I do think that since they conveniently designed it to fit right there, I think that would be a good place for it. But you know, Murph will be cooler. We will make it so. Yes, Josh, I will be there Sunday. Sunday. I will be at Murph. So Friday, I can't make it that Friday because I got to work. And then Saturday, again, grandbaby. Find out my what if I'm having a grandson or a granddaughter. And then so that'll be Saturday. Let's make sure the camera comes up with me. There we go. But that'll be Saturday. And then maybe Saturday night, I might drive out if I can find somewhere to crash for a night. I might drive out Saturday night, get in, hang out with everybody Saturday night, and then be there all day Sunday, and then drive home Sunday evening. So that is a thought. That is an option. And I'm sure that the camera freaked out because I turned around and couldn't see my face. But no, we're going to have to tear into this big guy here. Thankfully, it's just a matter of removing two screws and the front cover comes off, and then we can kind of get to work with what we need to do. I'm going to try and do this in a way that will be easy enough to be seen. I don't want to break the door. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get everything where I need it. So we're going to pull down this before I put you guys all up in the business. Let's see if I can get this camera to kind of work in a way that you guys will be able to kind of watch and see. So let's see when we jump to that camera what it looks like, shall we? There we go. Not terrible. You guys will be able to see in there. Get it to focus. There we go. So you guys will be able to follow along pretty good. I'm trying to get it in there in such a way that you guys will be able to see a majority of what's going on. You know. Because that is the important part. Making sure you guys can follow along with the important stuff, right? All right, let's go back here. Let's click on this. Let's go to live chat. And then let's blow this part up quite a bit so that I can look over and see the chat a little bit better. There we go. We're going to flip-flop. There we go. That'll work. So anyway, gonna lock the camera real quick so this thing stops dancing around so much. There we go. Now that'll stop in the corner there. It'll stop moving around so much. But got to break out the old tools and start ripping into this thing. Let's see. Do we have this? Yes, it is powered off. So we should be able to move that. There we go. And I think I have the right one on there. I do. Sweet. Take this screw out. My arm is all kinds of in the way. Maybe I should go up above, huh? Let's see if we can go up above. Let me get that screw out of there first. And we'll set this down in the lid so we don't lose it. Let me switch back to this camera for a minute because I don't want to make you sick while I rearrange. Got to readjust. Let's see. If I put this up here in the corner, like so, I wonder if this will be okay, and that'll at least keep my hands out of the way. Let's jump back now, shall we? Gotta bounce. Good luck getting it fixed. Have a good night. Josh, you too, good sir. You too. Have a good evening. That shows off my sweet, sweet flip-flops, doesn't it? Here. What if we go to this side? I've got to work out a better camera solution for this. At some point, I'll have like a sweet like work area. But there we go. I think that'll work. Take this screw out here now. I need to get the other monitor hooked back up so that I don't have to keep looking behind me. Radioactive, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Let's see here. Pull those off. Spin this around so that we can get this off a little easier. There we go. And then let me move this back a little bit. There is a, let me do this to you again. I'm sorry, but I am gonna put you back in the front. There we go. But there is a fan wire right here that we have to separate. And I'm just double checking the wire looks good. Oh, you can see that hot end is just cocooned with plastic still. So this is going to be fun. Let me move you guys down under here. Oh, look at that. Captain, what's going on, Captain, my Captain? Try to get this thing to focus. Pull it back a little. See if it'll actually focus on the front view and not what's going on behind it. There we go. Look at that cocoon. Oh, this is going to be fun because I can't heat it up because the wires are snapped. So there's really only one way to get all that off of there, isn't there? Because I can't get to the screws I need to get to. None of that stuff. So there's a couple ways to do this. This is going to be fun. More fun than I initially anticipated. I probably should have checked this before I went crazy. Might need to do some fan duct work too now looking at it, because there is filament all in the fan duct. Definitely gonna probably need to do quite a bit more work on this than initially thought. This is wonderful. Back home and dead your feet, but had a blast. Brother, I'm glad you could get there. I'm glad you were able to go and have a good time. Everybody needs to get out once in a while, go do that fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? I thought for sure if you were home already, you'd be streaming, so I didn't see a stream, so I hopped on. I figured I wanted to work on this, so I figured I'd stream. Take this. Bear with me a moment. I'm sure you guys heard that. Too much pain to stream? Brother, I get it. So enjoy my stream. There you go. Something for you to do. Just hang out with me. Get this out of here. There we go. And the little filament blob came out. So let me jump back to the main camera here real quick. As you guys can see, this had this little filament blob stuck inside there. Got that out of there. Cones. What a mess. You are correct, Cones. You are correct. That is a mess, but we'll figure it out. But right now, I'm going to put everything back together in the fan area here. Ta-da! The plastic piece here just slips in. That gap in between is where the bottom screw hole for the fan goes. So let's put this back in here now. Might want to take that fan duct out, put this fan in, then put the fan duct in, but we'll see if we can get it in. There we go. Okay. Fan goes in like so. And you can see where he had tried to chew away some of that plastic that had melted in there. Not a big deal. But that hot end is going to be a fun fix. Woo! By the way, again, Microswiss did send me out this hot end, so thank you again to Microswiss for doing so, especially so close to Rocky Mountain and them being at Rocky Mountain. So that was really sweet of them to get that out to me. It showed up this morning. I was going to wait till tomorrow night or Monday night to do this, but I got antsy and nobody was streaming any more Rocky Mountain content. So I figured we'll do it tonight, you know, which I'm glad, because now I have the fun of getting all of that cocooned mess out of there. And since I can't heat up the hot end to get it out of there, I can't heat up the hot end itself. Let me sit down here for a minute. Let me jump back here and click this and go like this so that it finds me and it comes back down. Lock it again. There we go. What a mess. I confess. We're going to do something a little... So, want to get the Microswiss for the Elegoo Neptune 4. Cones, do it. I am a huge fan. I love the Flowtech stuff. Let's just put it that way. So me personally, I'll tell you, do it. We're going to see if we can salvage this thing, because it may be more than initially anticipated. But we're going to see with a little bit of care, some time and a stream and some heat, if we can make this work. This is not recommended. This part is definitely not recommended. Do not try at home. If you do, it's on you. But I am going to try it. I got to move you guys down some so I can get you out of the way so I can work a little better here. Let's bump up the exposure a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Readjust. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to attempt something that you should not attempt. And if you do, I am not responsible. Now let's see if we can pull some of that away. Yeah, this is going to be a fun thing to just kind of keep pulling away at it. I don't know how, because I've never had an issue with any of my K1s, even with their stock hot ends. I've never had an issue with them doing anything like this. So I'm not exactly sure how he did that. I am going to steal my... Whoops. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to slap you out of the way there. I am going to steal, for the sake of making things, you know, not potentially damaging their build plate. I am taking the one of my other build plates here and just kind of having at it with that, so that if it drips down, it drips onto my build plate and not theirs. Bear in mind, this is a flammable thing, so it will or potentially could start on fire. So probably better to use a heat gun than heat itself, like fire. But not something I currently have. So I'm using what I have, and I'm being cautious and careful. You should do the same. However you do it cautiously and carefully. I do want to check something real quick. We have not actually looked in the package yet. So let me look in the package here. I can't remember if they include a wrench to take the stock nozzle out. Heat gun, yes, I don't have one of those. I do not have one of those. And in the kit, you get the two different... This is for the Creality's newer K1, K1 Max, and K1C. Can't really see that. And this is for the older K1 and K1 Max. So this is for the older one, and this one is for the newer one. So once we kind of get to the part where we can take it apart a little better, we'll know for sure. I'm pretty sure, looking at this one, this is a potentially newer K1. It is starting to kind of melt away and drip away. We're starting to get to the metal underneath. See, we're starting to get in there. We're starting to see bits. The nice part is, if I can get a hole like this, see, we can start kind of tearing chunks away. Bear in mind, I am not telling any of you to do this. I've repeatedly said, do not do this part. This part is an idiot doing idiot things. So do not do what the idiot do. In a situation like this, I would just say, in most cases, you should just buy a new one. Or at least take it out of the printer and try a fix away from this somewhere else. You know. That's my professional opinion, because I'm on YouTube, so obviously I'm a professional, right? Isn't that what they say? If you see it on YouTube, if it's on YouTube, it makes you a pro, right? I'm hoping that somebody is watching this and is cringing. There we go. We're digging through. We're kind of making headway here. This looks to be... It's hard to tell, because I got to get through all of this plastic to get up a little higher to be able to tell a little better for sure what this is. I do find humor in the fact that I don't know how long he's had this, but if he missed out on that opportunity for $2.99 to get the camera and, you know, all the other fun stuff that came with it, that would have sucked to find out you missed that. So, because I think my first K1, I was able to do that. I was able to pay the $2.99 and get the camera and all of that stuff. And then the second one, I believe I traded a gentleman for it, and I believe he had done that. He had paid the $2.99 and got the kit because it had all of that with it. It had the camera and some other bits and bobs. Ow! Damn it! The filament let go and it just plunged the cutters just barely into my flesh. I'm not bleeding though. So. Oh, here we go. Oh, damn. That is definitely. Let's unplug this real quick because I don't know which one that one is. That is the thermistor wire. It is now unplugged. Good. The thermistor wire was already damaged anyway because it was not registering on the thermistor, and it kind of appears as though I think it, at least I'm hoping it only went that high. But I'm assuming the thermistor wires were damaged because when you turn this on, it's not registering heat. It is erroring out. Okay. Nico 3D, no way, no way. No way, no way, what? Yeah, all the blob? Yeah. Yep. Yep, Nico, that's what you're seeing. It is bad. So we're using some unorthodox methods to get that blob off of there. Definitely a way I recommend nobody else do. So please don't do what I do. Do not be me. Do not be me. Do not do what I do. All right. It goes without saying, there is a warning label on tonight's stream. Do not do what Dan does. Dan is not a smart man. Do not do what Dan's doing. I don't have a heat gun. That is why I'm doing it the way I am doing it. So, do as I say, not as I do. Rick, you are correct. Do as I say, which is don't do what I do. But we're just trying to little by little move it. The heat is definitely heating up the heater cartridge area itself because I am feeling heat on my thumb. So little by little we are getting there. It's like I said, it's gonna be a time, just taking our time, being cautious, more or less heating up this one's coming out anyway, the stock heater. We have the lovely Microswiss. Blow it out and then try to grab it again and see if we can pull some more of it away. Again, I'm saying don't do this. So if you do, you're on your own. I assume no responsibility at all whatsoever. In a week when you guys are watching my stream, and I have this random bruise like right here on my arm, remind me that I tried to shove a pair of side cutters through my arm, okay? Remind me of that. Remind me, be like, hey, dum-dum, remember when you tried to shove the side cutters through your arm? And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like I said, the thermistor is not working. I'm hoping that it is actually that the thermistor itself has been destroyed. It kind of looks like, I mean, it's cocooned, so I don't know. But I'm hoping that the plug next to that, I don't remember what it is, but it looks like it may have gotten a little something on there too. And you're going to hear some banging and clanging as I'm pulling down on stuff. Like I said, I have another build plate that I put on top of that as kind of a protective layer. And since we know we're replacing this, get that out of my way. So that thermistor is definitely shot. Heat up this hot end, give this plastic a little work over. Like I said, I don't recommend anybody do what I'm doing at all, ever, never. Blow it out. And to anybody who is watching and laughing, good. I hope you are. There we go. Cleared up a big old blob with just a little bit of heat and persuasion. And now I kind of sort of ran my fingers through the hot molten plastic. But that at least got us to the point where I can see what appears to be the other plug being, yeah, good. That is the 2 wires for the heater cartridge. Let's see if we can get that to come out of there without hurting anything too crazy on the board itself. There we go. Heater core or heater wires and thermistor wires have been separated, so that's good. That means that there's a chance that that's not damaged, and we could very well be able to swap that out, plug in the 2 wires, and hopefully that's all that's damaged. So let me get you guys up under here a little bit better so you can kind of see what it looks like at the moment. There you go. We got that chunk of crap out of there. So there you go. Everyone hit that like button. Please and thank you if you would. Do you have any Kapton tape you could put on the electronics? Well, Rick, I probably do, but at this point we've already come to or gone too far, and if there's any damage, I'm going to chalk it up to probably the obvious. The cocoon probably ate most of it because it was pretty bad. If you caught the very beginning, it was pretty nasty up in there. So we are, however, going to work on one more thing at the top here. Push down, lift up, unlock, and then pull this pull that filament out of there. So the filament's out of the hot end, and let's take a look in the kit and see if they sent tools with it. I see we have the heater cartridge, the new heater cartridge with the thermistor built in, a new silicone sock, and the Flowtech nozzle. So these little goodies, oh yeah. Let's clear up the area. They even send thermal paste with it, so that's really nice. Let me set this stuff out real quick to kind of show you guys what comes in the kit, because I know a lot of people may be wondering what all comes in the kit. So let me lay this out real quick. You got your instructions, your silicone sock, the 2 different adapters for the 2 different adapter types. You got your heater cartridge and thermistor, your nozzle, and your grease to put on it. So I'm going to spin you guys and point you down for a moment. There you go. Let me refocus again. And there we go. All right. So here's all the goodies that come in the kit. You've got your 0.4 nozzle, your silicone sock, your thermal grease that will put some on here, on the end of this guy here, and maybe even a little on the threads. You got your actual ceramic heater with thermistor built in, the 2 little ears, to catch when you plug it in or screw it in. The two different adapters for either one of the two kits, either the newer style or the older style K1, and then of course some instructions, a little printed instruction guide. So those are the things that come with it. And then let's get you guys up in there as best I can. I do apologize for moving the cameras around. If I had a better camera setup and another way, I probably should have dropped the print bed. If I'd have been thinking, I would have probably dropped the print bed ahead of time. Even took off maybe one of the side panels so I could have just set the camera up on the side. Let's see here. Trying to drop the bed down, guys. Bear with me a moment. There. Best I can do. And then let's see, can I tuck the camera up in here a little bit better? And then get you guys a little bit more up in the mix. Man, why does it always want to focus on everything behind what I'm trying to get it to focus on? There we go. Okay. Now let's see if we can work with those. I don't remember how small those are, so bear with me while I flip-flop around here a little bit and see if we can find the right bit. Nope, smaller yet. At least I think it's smaller, and it's not that they're packed with plastique. They very well could have plastic in the head. This is very hard to see. Let's see. I need better lighting, or I should just flip the whole stinking thing over, but here, you know what? I wonder if the screws that came with it are the same, have the same like bit head on them. Those are too small, so it was the first one. So these at least will be this one. Okay. Put that back, put that back. Don't want to misplace stuff. Let's see. Can't tell. Are those Torx? Where's my phone so I can get a flashlight on there? Shrimp Daddy, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Trying to get a little more light on the subject here. Oof. Okay, so it is smaller. So it was that smaller one that I was looking at the first time. Maybe I got to use a Torx head. I don't know. Okay. It's not that one. So let's try a Torx similar in size. Don't remember this is the right one. The trick, guys, if you have one that's not cooperating, you grab a Torx head bit that is similar in size and then cram that up in there. And that one is too big, so we got to go smaller. But I think it's this one. Let's see if I'm right. I've been wrong this far. Huh. I do apologize for not being able to see you guys. I am like looking up into the printer. So if anybody's having issues with a cocooned Hotend, there's a little bit of help. A little bit. Not much. Yeah, like, yikes, looks like fun. Yeah. This is a coworker's friend's 3D printer. He had the Hotend get cocooned, and I reached out to Microswiss and said, hey, do you guys think you could help me out with this? We'll make some content. They said, let's do it. So here we are. We're doing it. But right now I'm trying to kind of clear out the screw heads because they're just covered in plastic. So we're just playing around for the moment. This may be a to be continued. Okay, that felt like it was removing some of the plastique. Can't win. LOL. Well, Cone, we are gonna continue until we cannot. Till we hit some kind of a wall or I fall asleep. Like I get tired and just I'm about to fall asleep because it is, you know, it is like 8:30 or 9 o'clock my time right now, which is, you know, late for this old man. You know, it's a late night for this old man, but you know, we're gonna see what we can make happen here. I'm hoping to get at least one of these screws to let go. I'm getting it to kind of clear out the garbage up in the hole. I'm feeling it spin through the plastic. And let's see, did we find... Let's see. Yeah, there's still a lot of plastic. Doesn't seem like much, but it is enough. So let's hit it with a little heat and then try and shove a bit in there, right? Just for a second. Should be enough to heat that up and let me get into it. Okay, let's see if we can get the right bit now. Nope. I have a bad feeling, says these screws. Yep. Yep. These screws, because of the amount of plastic caked in them, it's not going to be an easy get them out of there. So we're going to heat this thing up a little bit by hitting the plastic down, or the metal down low. Because like all heater cartridges, the heat goes somewhere, right? When we're only heating up the hot end, we're not heating up the boards, so should heat up to the cold block. Okay. Nope. There we go. Got that screw out. Now let's see if we can get this one. Can we get in there to get this one? Come on, baby. Like the song says, come on, baby, do the locomotion with me. Let's go. Ta-da. All right. There we go, gang. Got the 2 screws to let go. We cheated and used a Torx head. Let's see, how hot is that? Still pretty hot. I'm trying to remember, because I'm doing this from memory. And I cannot recall. Once you take that out, or take those 2 out, if there is... There we go. Ta-da! And that's why I put the other build plate down, so that if I did something, I hit my build plate and not hurt the printer. Ta-da! Hot end's out. Yahtzee! Now let's look at this hot end and see. From the looks of it, this is the older style hot end. So let me kind of spin you guys around here so you can see what I'm looking at. Go up and come down. And there we go. Now, this, it does look to me to be actually like it's going to be the newer style hot end, because it's got the long throat on here. So this guy appears to be about the same, which is where that nozzle cups up into. So if we were to put this one in there, the problem you would run into is all of this right here. See? So this is the newer style. And just to verify, let's look at, I don't know how much of that you guys actually saw. I'm sorry. Let me bounce it back up here. That's the new one. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is the new one with the longer nozzle. It's got the heat break and everything all the way up through. And then it's got this little guy here. So we need this one. Thank you, Havoc. You did that once. You have to take out the board, loosen the screw from the back. Well, I don't recall there being a screw. Was I wrong? It didn't seem to want to undo a screw. Let me look at the instructions real quick here, shall we? Step 1, take out filament, take it off, take those 2 screws out. We did that, take that off. Then you've got this guy here. And then, yes, there is a screw on the back that you are supposed to loosen. I did not do that. So we'll loosen that screw before we go crazy. So let me get up here, away from you guys for a moment. No, the new style doesn't have that, does it? The old one does, the new one does not. Okay. The fins are actually rolled up in the back too, so that may be a bad thing. That's the new one. Yeah, so the new one doesn't have that. The old one, you're right, it does have the... So it's showing here, step 4, the fins are flat and there's a screw hole cut in it. Then it says to prep it, you need to prepare the copper. So it looks like they put a little bit of the compound here on the bottom part of that guy before you slide it in. And then, yeah, here is the older versus the new. Green is the older style, blue or the unmarked one is the new. So yeah, the green has the indicator here for the screw. But then, yeah, it says to use their screws that come with, depending on which kit you have. And then we put the 2 screws in, tighten them down, plug in the 2 wires, and then screw the nozzle in, torque the nozzle down. It should look like this when we're done. Put the silicone sock on, put everything back together, and put the screws in. So we're on the home stretch here. Since this is the kit that does either or, I just wanted to make sure, since we know that it is the newer, because it has the sloped rear, we'll use the newer kit. So we'll take these out. put that back there. It's a shame because I have a nozzle we could have tried on this if this wouldn't have been cocooned. But since it is, we'll take this guy, 2 screws, set those down. We'll open up the old thermal grease here. Push it down. I've got a little thermal grease from the old one on my finger there. Not a big deal. By the way, Havoc, thanks for coming and hanging out, man. Good to see you. Let's push the thermal grease out a little bit. Get it around there. I don't want to go super crazy. A little bit of grease is really all you need. But there we go. We'll hold on to this like this for a minute. Pull you guys back down under and back up. Sorry for the whiplash and everything else. There we go. Then we take this guy, like so, up into the hole and pop it into place. But it's not going all the way in, and I believe it's supposed to. So give me a moment here. I'll make sure. Yeah, it does show it flushed up. So, oh wait. Hold on. The newer series, the heatsink, do not have a set screw in the back. The long copper thermal adapter will be held in by the O-ring until the nozzle is installed. Okay. So let's see if we can give it a little more force here. Let's see. Push down, push up, same time. Well, that is about all the farther it wants to go. It just got here at a birthday party. Hey, no problem, my man. Thank you for popping in regardless. Birthday party, no birthday party. Thanks for being here. Okay, well, I'm assuming once we screw the nozzle in, that'll push it in farther if it's supposed to go. So, let's continue on our merry way here, shall we? We put this like this. Oh, that doesn't look like it'll go that way then. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's pop that back out real quick. Cautiously and carefully. Drop it and make a mess. And then, let's just see here. Well, it doesn't say anything about tapping it into place. I wonder if, let's just see here. Put one screw in real quick. You start with one screw, fellas. Get it in there. Just start it. Push this up. And does it have the wires coming through the front or through the rear? Wires to the rear. Okay. Wires to the rear. Okay, that does go there. And then we could thread it into place. So let's get the other screw ready here. This part's a trick. There we go. Let's just see if this bit will work here. Okay. I did kind of forget these are gap. So as you tighten it down, it does bottom out. So it is only going to go in so far. I am using a Torx head bit at the moment, if anybody is wondering. But we do have the ability to just flip-flop back and forth. And then make sure that those screws do bottom out into the bottom of the brake. And that is what they are doing. So there you go. I know it's a little hard to see from where you guys are. That's too big. We need to go one smaller. My bad, gang. My bad. Okay. There's that one. There we go. I kind of fear this is that oddball in the half size, like a 2. That's a 2. Let's see. Nope. All right, let's go back to the Torx head bits. When an Allen doesn't work, use a Torx head bit. When a Torx head bit doesn't work, use another Torx head bit. Ow, I smashed my elbow. Did you guys see that on the little camera view? All right, that one is bottomed out. That one is bottomed out. There we go. Now I'm going to try and get you guys up close enough so you can see what I was talking about. Come on, camera. Focus. Okay, that's about as clear as I can get it, but you can see these screws are pretty much bottomed out right up into the cooling block. There's an extra ridge on them, and they are bottomed out right into it. So now we've got that part done. We can install, it says 1.7 newton meters or 15 inch-pounds of torque. I'm going to give it the ugga-dugga here, but we're going to make sure everything is lined up straight. So let's pull this back. And then you guys can watch the little, the super long nozzle take forever to thread in here. Hopefully it'll get right up to there. Okay, well, it's not dropping in directly like it's supposed to. I'm kind of frightened by this. This whole thing is not apparently going in correctly. Don't judge me, all right? Dang it. There we go. I am hardly twisting and it is still going up. So that means it must be pushing that copper collar in more. There we go. And that looks like an inch-pound. There we go. I hardly even forced it once it got the copper tube into place. I figured that's what we were going to have to do, is utilize the titanium screws that they send with it to do that. So there we go. The only thing that's left to do is plug in the 2 wires, hook up the... Let's see if I can get you guys up in there for the 2 wires, shall we? Let's see how small and flat I can get you guys to see if you can see that. And also see my ugly face, too. Look at my ugly face. I need a good shaving. Haha. There we go. That helps me out greatly, too. Let me take this out of there. That's better. It'll work. You'll have that, Jack in the Shop? Yeah. Yeah, you'll have that. There we go. Now let's plug in the 2 wires that need to be plugged in. This one here is the thermistor wire. I'm going to try and come at it from this side. Sorry, I'm in your way. There we go. And then, of course, the next wire. Take a look at something. This is the heater cartridge wire. And I might be trying to put that in the wrong dadgum direction. Let me see. I'm actually using you guys to help me. We're trying to. Let me get under here. All right, pushing you back a little. There we go. I think I got you. Yeah, about as good as I can get you. Let me sit my butt down. I'm straining in so many ways right now. Might just be easier to plug it in and then show you guys afterwards. Or let's unplug the thermistor wire and get that out of the way. And then with the thermistor wire out of the way, maybe it'll be easier to get this one in, huh? If I remember right, every time I've done this, this is the part that's giving me the hard time, is getting that heater cartridge wire in. Let me see something. Yeah, it does go this way. It is always this damn heater cartridge wire that is the problem. What is... All right, let me back you guys up. You can kind of watch. I don't know how. I really don't know what's going to be the best way to kind of get you guys in here and get you out of my way at the same time. Dear Creality, make this plug in from the bottom, not from the side, the back side. You guys having fun watching me on the old struggle bus here? Let me see something. Where's that other wire that I took out? Where's the other plug? I want to see something with that plug. If I can find it. It's the broken heater wires. There's that. This is the one for the thermistor. Where's the wire? Where's the connector for... Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see. That gripped on the bottom. So this has a different type of connector. Okay, well, this has a different type of a connector on it than the one here. So there was no extra wires. So it's gotta be one of those like pain in the asses, doesn't it? I'm not looking behind me to see chat, so I apologize, gang. Bear with me. I got to be careful because I don't want to damage the wire, but the plug is different. And I don't know. Evening, Vince. What's going on, good sir? We're having fun trying to figure this thing out. The connector on this board is different than the plug that they gave us. And I'm wondering if all that molten plastic had done anything to this. It's just hurdles, man. We just got to get over them hurdles, right? One at a time. Let's see something. I'm going to take you guys out for a minute. Set you guys down here. Pick you up. Move you back. And then I'm going to attempt something because I want to be able to see what the heck I'm doing here. Move stuff out of the way. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. Okay. Pulled the little connector off just to get a good look at it. And yeah, this plug that plug doesn't fit in that connector. That's interesting. Because the connector that's on that board is not the same connector I'm seeing here. This is a completely different connector. Wonderful. Well, That ain't ideal. These two connectors have like a safety lock on them. And it's gonna create a problem. So that's gonna be an issue. However, I think we may have a solution of sorts. Okay. Well, there we go. That's in there. Okay. Again, do as I say, don't do as I do. Let's put the fan back in and power this thing on and see what happens, shall we? See if it registers proper temps. And then we'll heat up and cool down as it's supposed to. Plug in fan. Fan is plugged in. Swing arm back out of the way. Slide that up over the two bumps. Lock it down. There's that. Grab the two screws we just took out. Get the right bit. Too big. The unless you have head of a 3-year-old, you probably really don't see in there. Exactly. You don't really see in here. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get to. Tighten down one screw. Grab the other one here. Move the tool head over. Put in the other screw. Tighten it down. There we go. Pull this filament out of here that he had in it. Tuck that down in. Lock the tool head for giggles. And grab power. And make sure it's in the off position. There we go. Now, let's bring you guys in close. Tip it down here. There you go. You can see yourselves. Ready? I'm going to power it on. Let's see if it registers a temperature on the hot end. Oh, I guess it would have helped if I would have put the sock on too, huh? I think I can get that in there without having to take everything off. It might be wrong. There we go. It's booting up, and the silicone sock is on. The nozzle is protruding, and we have hot end temperature. Look at that, 31C it says. All right, now let's go into here, hot end, 210, and hit OK. Fan kicked on. There we go. Let's pull this guy out of here. This is the old one for the stock hot end. Not necessary anymore. But there we go. It is heating up. Let's see if it is actually heating up. It is. There we go. Hot end replaced, everybody. I mean, we should probably do our due diligence and put some plastic through it, right? Just to verify. But you can see how quickly it's heating up. We did that in 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I'm an idiot. So if I can do it in 1 hour and 10. Just throwing that out there. If I can do it in 1 hour and 10 minutes, you should be able to do it in 2 hours. Right? I do see what appears to me to be, looks like filament still in. the cartridge, or in the tool head here? Let's find out. Oopsie. Yeah, that's what I thought. The filament that's in here is very brittle and breaking like crazy. So let's push this back down. Let's grab some filament that we just happen to conveniently have next to us here and push all the filament back out of the PTFE tube. Let's make sure. Yep, filament's out of the PTFE tube. PTFE tube is now clear for sure, not just potentially. Tuck this back in. Okay, grab the clip that I just dropped, because I pulled the clip out and it let go. So put the clip back in. Oh, that's good. Yep. Good thing it's a direct drive. That's not important. All right. Print the extruder that has the runout switch. I'm just thinking we're going to print a Dapper Dan duct, just a quick test print, just to make sure. My wife messaged me. Give me a moment there, gang. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab a roll of filament. He doesn't have the stock extruder ball on the back there, handle on the back, or extruder, or spool holder. There we go. He doesn't have the proper spool holder on the back. Let's just throw, what do we got left? We have a little bit of the burnt titanium left. I don't know if it's enough for a Dapper Dan duct, but we'll find out. And since we're going to have to do something with this, let's close the door for a moment. Actually, we'll leave the door open. We'll turn this thing. Try not to Uncle Jesse it. Sorry, Jesse, aka Clayton. Sorry, bud. Here we go. Close the door just so we don't accidentally break it for right now. Put the filament here, or the holders back here anyway. You guys are staring at nothing good. Oh, this stuff is probably not going to unspool well. It's probably going to pick it up off the damn extruder, or the spool holder. Okay. Let me just switch to this one real quick. There we go. Filament. Unlock. Break that little piece off there. Push it down through. Gosh darn it. There we go. There it is. All the way down to the hot end. Push some plastic through. All right. Manually push through. Tighten in the extruder. Lock it down. There we go. So you guys can see. Let me flip back to this guy. And there you go. Look at that. We pushed plastic. See? Filament did come out. Now, pick this back up. I can't really turn it, gang. I'm sorry. And he doesn't have the camera module. So I don't know how well you're going to see too much. There. You can kind of see stuff going on. Let me see here. Click this. Let's go into settings. Let's go into Where is self-check, input shaper, auto bed level, start detecting. There we go. Let's put everything back together real quick so it's as it would be. There we go. Now we're going to let it do the self-checks. You can kind of see through the glass to see what it's doing. It's homing now. Now it's coming out. There you go. You can kind of watch it. Oh, I should probably not press that right up against it though, huh? There we go. The extruder mounted runout sensor is nice. You are correct, Havoc, but this is not my printer. I'm just replacing the hot end. If it was mine, we'd look into that. Trust me. Use tweezers from the iFixit. Oh, that was back when I was trying to plug in the wire. Yeah, it would have made sense, but the adapter was wrong, so or the little connector that it plugs into is wrong, so there was something I was just thinking about. But we're gonna let it come up in level, or at least home. Dang, I did kind of mark myself pretty good with this one. But here it comes. We'll make sure that it doesn't hopefully go too crazy and like grind like crazy, and hopefully the bed leveling is going to work like it's supposed to. Oh, I did want to join this to my Wi-Fi so that I could see it a little better. And we could print directly to it. Touched and came down. Touched and came down. Touched and came down. Okay. Here it goes with input shaping. Okay. Well, now that we've gotten some of this thermal grease all over the place, and we did, it's all over. Let's drop it in this little Ziploc bag here, and then put this along with the old parts. Not going to worry about that stuff over there. Take the styrofoam out. We'll put the old print head, the old cartridge, and we'll take this piece. Should we send all the plastic back too? The cocoon plastic? Should I put that in this box to give back to him? So you can have the cocoon stuff. What do you think? Should we send back all the cocoon plastic? I think we should, just to be a smarty pants. Just send it all back. Be like, here is what we had to take off of the printer to get that out of there. Like I said, if it was mine, I would stick the Microswiss sticker right across the front there. I think I should just put it on there just for giggles and hope the guy don't get pissed, because I don't know the guy. I know the person that I work with. So, like I said, not my printer. I don't want to go crazy with it. It was just, let's replace the tool head for him. That's what we did. We replaced the hot end. Sorry, I say tool head because I'm thinking tool changer, but it's hot end. So, but we'll get an input shaper done. We'll get a bed level done, and then after that, we'll look into probably slicing up a Dapper Dan duck. And then we'll throw a Dapper Dan duck at it and make sure that it works. And then once we know it works, it can get loaded up in my car on Sunday night and go back to work with me on Monday. And then I can tell my friend at work, I can say, here is your friend's printer, done and ready. And then we can move on to other things. What other things? I don't know yet. I'm still waiting on JPP. I know he's got a lot going on, but I'm waiting on JPP to send me some printed parts for the Ender 3 that we're rebuilding for someone near him, and I'd like to get it done before June hits, because the hope is to give it back to him in June. So, hopefully when I go in June out to Midwest RepRap Fest, I'm bringing several printers with me. But there's that. Let's see here. It should be done, so I should be able to pull that little blob off of it. And then now it should home. And then come back out. Touch the center. Yeah, input shaping is done. Now it's getting ready to do bed leveling. We'll let it finish up itself here. But there's a little blob of filament on that hot end there. I had to get that little bit off of there. I could see what files is on here, and then we can always reprint one of them if nothing else, depending on what it is. Family-ish friendly and all. Maybe something quick. Maybe if they've got like the little Creality keychain or whatever it was on there, the little quick file. So if a stock file's still on there, maybe we'll just throw that at it for a quick print. I didn't wipe down the bed yet, so before we start a print, we'll have to do that. But here we go. To the back it touches, to the back it touches. All right, what are we doing? I'd love to do the relocating of the runout sensor and the other thing. I thought the K1 already had a runout sensor. Now that I think about it, Havoc, I thought it had two runout sensors. It had one at the hot end and one at the back. At least I thought. But I'm not a smart man, so I don't know. Again, it's another one of those situations where, like, okay, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I never dug a lot, like, too deep into it. My K1s were just like a little workhorse, like they just work, so I just used them. But yeah. But yeah, I would like to like did the relocating of the runout sensor on the back there and all that stuff. But yeah, there are several you can print and add one though. Okay, we'll have to check it out. I mean, I'll look into it, but not for this one because, like I said, not my printer, so I'm not going to play around with too much stuff like that. I don't want to crazy modify somebody's printer and give it back to them, especially not knowing their overall expertise in 3D printing. I don't want to make changes from stock and then they're looking up stock issues and not the issue with the, custom changes. I mean, don't get me wrong, replacing the hot end with the Microswiss Flowtech is definitely different than stock, but it's a upgrade that shouldn't affect too much. Plus, it came from Microswiss, and Microswiss is awesome. The 1.5 foot wasted filament drives you nuts. Yeah. Oh, I understand, Havoc. Trust me, I do get that. Okay, here it comes. First touch in the corner. Back corner. Back right. Front right. The one thing about the K1 that I wish that they would have done was triple Z instead of doing a belted Z. I really do. I really wish they would have done triple Z motors. It would have made more sense. I mean, especially for the premium cost that is associated with the K1, it would have just made more sense to put 3Zs and be done with it and have the ability to do the, in this case, tri-gantry level instead of quad gantry or whatever the hell they call, you know, they call it quad gantry and in the Voron stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, Havoc, this is just one of those, for me, having played around with printers that have, you know, 3 and 4 Z motors, and it has the ability to adjust, you know, it can compensate for that a whole lot easier. I like that. Because if it, like in this thing, if it gets too crazy, you have to pop the belt, spin one of the, you know, one of the screws and hope you get close enough, and then put the belt, you know, tighten the belt back up, and it's just a pain, you know. One of my thoughts is, now that I think about it, this person, yeah, you really like the Hydra from Zero G? Yeah. Yeah, Zero G stuff is all nice. We're almost there. And then we'll check and see what kind of files we have on here, and then possibly full send, you know. But I do thank everybody for coming and hanging out. You know, like I said, it's Midwest, it's Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest weekend, so I'm sure it's like going crazy right now with all the after parties and everything, and everybody hanging out. And I'm sure there's a meetup at the embassy. So I'm sure everybody's just hanging out, chatting, and playing catch up. And I don't blame them, man. If I was there, I'd be doing that too. Okay. That part's now done. There we go. Self-check is complete. Close that out. Go back to the gear. Go back to network. Let me connect to my network real quick. Get it connected to my network, because why not? There we go. And let's go into the files. Let's just see what we got in here. Do we have any of the stock stuff left on here? All kinds of stuff that's like 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, hour and a half. I'm just looking for something quick and easy. 15-minute or 16-minute benchy. Let's do the 16-minute benchy. Let's pull this build plate out and give it a quick wipe down, because, you know, dust and debris and stuff that got in there. This is the build plate that's got the little nozzle cleaner on the end of it, or on the corner of it. So please apply glue before printing. Ha ha ha, you silly bastard. Why would I apply glue? Clean your build plate after every print, and you should have no issues. Should. Unless you got all kinds of crazy issues, then do it. Okay, there we go. 16-minute benchy. I hope I got enough filament on here for that. Calibrate. And by calibrate, I mean calibrate. And print. There we go. Trust me, there are all kinds of things I would do to this if it was mine. Let's see here. Let's get into the let's go into the web interface for this. Yep. Camera does not work. But here's the stock Creality interface. There we go. Nozzles dropping to 160, or yeah, to 160. Bed's going to 50. But yeah, so terrible. I know, I hate it. I hate it so bad. That's the one reason why I like rooting it and then using the Creality, like the little Creality helper tool that's out there, and installing mainsail. I'm a mainsail guy. Nothing against fluid, but I'm a mainsail guy. Now the bed is cooling down to, or the nozzle's cooling down to 120. But we're going to go ahead and full send it and cross our fingers. Realistically, an hour and 10 in is about all the more you need to watch on this. And even then, you don't even need to watch that. You just need to watch from the part where I take the screws out and plug everything back in. It's really all you need to watch. But again, I want to say thank you to Flowtech for sending that out. It was really awesome of them. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So again, thank you, Flowtech. Or Flowtech as in Microswiss and your Flowtech Hotends. Sheesh. I'm even terrible at doing that, aren't I? Cones, no. This has a, in the K1s, they have, what's it called? I call it like pressure pads, basically, on the four corners of the build plate. And when the nozzle comes down and touches, it does its thing. And I can do some offset adjustment. So as it starts printing, if it looks like garbage, I can adjust the offset a little bit in the screen. But there's no actual, like, load cells. Thank you, Havoc. Yes, load cells. But it has four, I think it's like, I believe there are 4 load cells, one at each corner. So it just basically senses it that way. So it should be good. It should just be a matter of hit print and go. If I don't like the squishy on the first layer, I can adjust it, fine tune it a little bit. But for the most part, it's pretty much just turn it on, run through the calibration, and you're done. Start printing. So yeah. There is it buried in the menus. Yeah. I'm going to open this. We're printing in PLA, so I'm going to open this. Okay. He's got a screen set to turn off really fast. Me personally, I like having the screen on for like 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. Okay. It's parked in the position. It's going up to 210. We got a little bit of plastic back here. I wish you would have included the spool holder. And then only one of the 4 rubber dampers made it. Settings, cogwheel, advanced, then offset. Okay. I'll have to look in there. But first layer is sticking. and doesn't look terrible yet. God, I miss these K1s. I don't care what anybody says, man. I had all kinds of good luck with my K1s. They just worked. I mean, yes, I put the Microswiss Flowtech Hotends on all of mine, and I did make sure that the extruder was upgraded to the good one, which this one should have it, being it's a newer version of the K1, so it should be fine. If it had the stock hot end, I do have a different nozzle I could have put in there, but because the stock hot end cocooned itself, I can't try that nozzle out. Oh yeah. If this printer's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. Let's close that door now and just let it run. Nice. Agreed. That thing is just a rocking away. I hear some poppy, clicky, clicky, poppy, but that's all the filament. Yeah, it's the filament rolling on the spool, and I think we're probably going to run out of filament because I'm already seeing the spool. So we'll let it ride though, right? And you can see how fast that's spinning back there. If you keep watching, look how fast that thing's spinning. You know it's pushing some plastic. The other option is, as it runs out and pulls through, I can shove another roll of filament up in behind it and just keep it moving. You know, I mean, the manual filament respool or refill, just keep pushing filament until it gets all the way through. Man, that thing is throwing down some filament. Wow. It's already 8% done though, so I think we'll make it. Because if I remember right, it has very little infill, so I think we should be all right. But yes. Yeah, we're already pretty far up the bow there. Yeah, if we make it, it'll be right there. It'll be pretty close. I'm using up the rest of my burnt titanium on this, guys, so if anybody's feeling generous, send me some rolls of burnt titanium. It seems to be one of my favorites. Polymaker has a very similar filament to the burnt titanium. Let's see here, PLA. Accept. I believe it's their Midnight Meteorite, if I remember correctly. Let's go to us.polymaker.com, actually, instead of just Polymaker. And let's go to, let's close that. Let's type Midnight. No? All right. That's Starlight. They call it, it's part of the Panchroma series now, formerly Polylite Starlight. Let's go to, it's part of their Panchroma line. So we're going to look under Panchromas, all products. And let's look through, I thought it was called Midnight Meteorite, but I guess I'm wrong. I'm trying to look it up real quick, guys, so bear with me. It's under the Starlight. Is it Twilight? Yeah, I think it's Twilight. Yeah, it's their Twilight. So it's the Panchroma Starlight PLA, which was formerly Polylite Starlight, I guess. Because Comet has some bluish green in it. And then the purple one is their Starlight, but this one, oh, Starlight Nebula. Starlight Twilight, or yeah, Starlight Twilight is the one I'm thinking of. So it's their Starlight Twilight. So you go. Thinking about the cartographer probe for yours. Yeah, I have a cartographer currently on this guy. I do like it. It did take a little bit of getting, you know, a little bit of doing to get it set up. If I don't remember if you were here for that or not, Havoc. I have my glasses to my face because the microphone's on my glasses, and I had to rub my eyes because it's past my bedtime. So usually I'm asleep by now. So bear with me while I clear my eyeballs of the nasty garbage that gets on my eyes. Science Sniper, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Oh, you're back. Where'd you go? You were on one of the streams the other night too. You'd pop back in, so it was nice. But yeah, it's the Starlight Twilight is the film that I'm thinking of, and I got a story to tell you guys. So there's a Facebook, on Facebook, there's Maya Lee, I believe it is. Be careful. Maya Lee claims to work for Creality, but can't give you her Creality email address for some reason, and says that if you want to make a payment to them, to pay it through PayPal. First off, I'm smarter than that. I knew better. I said that I was interested in checking out the K2 conveniently. Oh yes, just pay shipping and we'll send one out to you. Well, there's a problem with that because again, if you worked for Creality, Creality doesn't do that. Creality just sends out units to people. They don't make you pay shipping. No reputable company makes you pay shipping. And then you pay the $95 to $100 to them on PayPal and never hear from them again. They take your money and they run. And she was trying to be really convincing with the, oh, you can trust me. And then she doxed someone. If this is legitimate, she doxed someone, sent me their address, the tracking number that didn't come back to anything. It didn't show up as a tracking number in any system. So the tracking number, when I searched it, that she sent me, didn't come back to anyone. The address doesn't exist that she sent me. So the address for the person didn't come back to a place. It came back to what appeared to be like an apartment. But yet when you look it up, the address isn't in that building. It skips that address. So that address isn't real. The shipping number is not a valid shipping number for any shipping company in the US, and it was a US package that she'd sent me. And the PayPal address that she wanted me to send it to was a Gmail account, with the excuse that PayPal, the way our system is set up, our company emails will not work to send PayPal, which is bullshit because you create an account on PayPal using your email address, not a Gmail account, because I've done it with other domains that I own, and there's no restriction to that. If you have an email address, you can create an account. As long as you can verify the information on that email address, you can verify the account and you're good to go. So I believe, again, like I said, I believe her name was Maya Lee is what she went by. If you should happen to come across her, please ignore her. I tried reporting her 3 different times. I tried reporting our conversation, and every time they said that there was no violation in there. So Facebook needs to work on their AI, because I did a couple of simple Google searches and was able to call this person out. And when I asked her repeatedly to just send me her Creality email address so that I could verify that she is an actual employee of Creality, she kept dodging that, kept telling me that I could trust her. They keep sending messages to you. Yeah. Will, like I said, she kept saying that I could trust her and that she's very trustworthy and I have nothing to worry about and I can trust her and it'll definitely get there. All I need to do is pay for it. And then I said again, send me your Creality email address so that I can verify you are an actual Creality employee, and then we'll continue talking. I said, because I don't have that kind of money to spare, and if I'm going to spend any money, if I'm going to be frivolous with my money and do something dumb, I need to guarantee that I'm getting something out of this. I can't not have something. I can't lose that money. It's not money I can afford to like burn. You know, this is one of those, if you can't afford to burn it, don't do it. I can't afford to burn it, so I'm not doing it. But yeah, I know better than to fall prey to that. And I'm telling you all what you need to do if you get these emails. If they're dumb enough to send you a screenshot or screenshots of conversation they had with another trusted person, first off, search the name of the person. This name came up to nobody in that area, in the city and state that she had said. So it didn't even come up to a person in that city or state. So the name didn't match the city and state. The address came up to, again, like I said, a house that looked as though it may be two separate houses, like a house with like an apartment. There we go. It looks like it might be apartments, which, okay, maybe Google doesn't have the updated address for the back part as the second address that would have been the number. Instead of being a ending in 3, it would have ended in 5, but it went from 3 to the one next to it, which was 7 and 9. So the building next to it ended in 7 and 9. 3 was here.
I understand.
Shut up.
Address for the back part of the property.
No, shut up. I didn't even talk to Gemini, and Gemini lit up. I don't like the fact that thing listens more now. But so since, again, it was a 5 on the address, but it was 3, no 5, and then 7, 9. So the address was incorrect. The name isn't in that city or state when I do any kind of searching. And on top of that, again, you didn't have a valid Creality email address that you could share with me so I could verify your true employment with the company you are saying you are a person or a member of. And even after my first conversation with you was, I have been trying to work with Creality for many years now, and they always tell me my channel doesn't have the numbers to work with me. So since I am sub 10,000 subscribers, I am not a person of interest. So why would you tell me all of a sudden that you would be interested in working with me if they're telling me their minimum is 10,000 subs and I don't have 10,000 subs? So you tell me how that works. So again, obviously, it's a scam. I've played this game enough. I've been down this road more than enough. It's a scam. I'm not going to fall for the scam. And I hope that you don't fall for the scams either. I hope that the old adage, if it seems too good to be true, then it must be, is pretty solid. So if it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true, guys. Do a little Google searching and you'll find that you're being played. Don't give them money. If it's a legitimate, reputable company, they're going to send you the product with the understanding that you're going to do what you can for their product, and they're sending you the product as technically as compensation for doing so. Again, if Creality ever did send a K2 my way, you guys know it would be up here in the back being featured. And you guys would see it, and I would be printing stuff on it. Hell, for a while, it might even be sitting right there. So I would definitely be featuring the product, talking about the product, and using it for stuff. So if Creality ever sees this and decides they want to work with me, send one. I'm more than happy to work with you. But know that people are still pulling that crap and trying to drag you guys through the mud to make you look bad. I'm just smart enough to know better than to fall for it, and I want to share that with everybody so that they don't fall for it. We're getting there. We're down to pretty much the last windings on the reel, and we're at the top of the boat, the benchy. So as soon as we it's working on the it's filled the gaps and is working on the upper deck, guys. See? Doesn't look the greatest through the glass there, but we'll see how it looks when it's done. I mean, after all, it is a 16-minute benchy when it's all said and done. So, I mean, we're at 15 minutes, 20 seconds right now, when it says 1 minute and 16 seconds remaining. So, we'll see how it goes. But once this is done, gang, it'll be right about that 2-hour mark. So, we're going to wrap this up as soon as that's done. And then I am going to see. Let's see here. What did my wife say again? She said, okay. Let me see. Doesn't really say. All right. Well, we'll have to play the pressure luck game and see. My loving wife would like a drink before I go in the house, which means I need to run to the corner store or the gas station and grab her one. So once this is over with, take a quick jaunt, dressed in my lovely attire here. But it's almost done. Let's get to the top. Let's get into the top. 3, 2, 1. And it's done. Wow. There we go. All right, let's jump back to this guy. And pop that off of there. The first layer, not terrible at all. Could be better. It does have a brim. But the overall print quality, gang, not terrible at all. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look. Would you look at it? Look. You can see a little ringing down the side there. A little ghosting or ringing down the side. Bow looks nice. Overhangs look pretty good. Above the door is a little mushy. Back of the boat, a little bit of stringiness. And then the stack looks good. Top surface looks nice. So there we go. Does not look terrible. I have seen uglier prints. You may want to redo PID on the extruder. Yeah, Will, you are correct. It probably wouldn't hurt to do a PID on there. So, but that being said, print is done. We'll do a little more tweaking and tuning and playing around with it. I've got tomorrow to mess with this some more and, you know, kind of go from there. So, but yeah, overall, the boat looks pretty damn good. I love that burnt titanium filament. I do wish that Polymaker could get, stop it. I did not say anything that involved, I'm going to have to turn Gemini off. That's pissing me off. But yeah, Will, you are correct. I probably should run a PID tune on it. All that other good fun jazz. But there we go, gang. Print is complete. It looks good. Let's see here. Going to the gear. Going to system. Expert mode, Z offset, flow, and nozzle PID calibration. There we go. Well, start it. There we go. Nozzle PID check. It is expected to take a total of 5 minutes. There we go. PID check is going, Will. So there you go. Doing a PID tune on it. That'll be done in the next like 5-ish minutes. But I am not going to stick around for those 5 minutes, guys, because like I said, it's 10:30 p.m. my time, and I got to get the missus a drink. I don't know if any of the gas stations close by 11, but if they do, there's a little corner store that's open till at least 11. So I'd like to at least hit one of those places before they close so that I can get the missus what she wants, so that I have a happy wife, because happy wife, happy life. That being said, gang, it only took about an hour to swap that. If you didn't have a cocoon full of filament around it, you could probably knock that out in about 30 minutes. So you just take the 2 screws out, pop the cover off, take that out of there, take the front cover off, pop the fan plug loose, just take out the 2 screws. If you have a set screw in the back, loosen the set screw, pop the whole hot end out, heater cartridge and whatnot, heat break, pop that out, slide the new one in, tighten everything down, plug everything back in, and be up and running. So there you go. Thank you again, Microswiss, for sending over the Flowtech Hotend. Thanks to Polymaker for sponsoring all of the filament. Thanks to all of you guys for putting up with my BS. That being said, it's my usual spiel, gang. We're going to wrap this thing up with a stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, happy 3D printing, all the things, and remember, an old printer is better than no printer. And the additional words of wisdom. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. If you break it, someone else will know how to fix it. But at least try. Bye, gang.